Unit 3, Part 6. So, process scheduler. We have seen some part of the process scheduler in the previous lecture. So, the process scheduler schedules different processes to be assigned to the CPU based on particular scheduling algorithms. So there are 6 popular process scheduling algorithm which we are going to discuss here. So first come first serve scheduling, shortest job next scheduling, priority scheduling, shortest remaining time, round robin, and multiple level queue scheduling. So we have seen these in short in the previous lecture. Here we will see all these in detail. So CPU scheduling algorithm deal with the problem of deciding which of the processes in the ready queue to be allocated the CPU. The scheduling algorithm can be classified into two categories: preemptive scheduling and non-preemptive scheduling. So in primitive scheduling, CPU can be taken away from the process and the process can be temporarily suspended due to request for input output and the time slab is over. And non-preemptive scheduling, a process runs to its completion. Once a process has been given the CPU cannot be taken away from that process. So the non-preemptive algorithms are simple and easy to implement. These algorithms are not suitable in multi-user environment. So the first come first serve, first one is the first come first serve. These algorithms are either non-preemptive or preemptive. The non-preemptive algorithms are designed so that once a process enters the running state, it cannot be preempted until it completes its allocated time. Whereas the preemptive scheduling is based on the priority, where a scheduler may a low priority running process any time when high priority process enters into a ready state. So the first come first serve scheduling. So here the jobs are executed on first come first serve basis. It is non-preemptive preemptive scheduling algorithm. It is easy to understand and implement. Its implementation is based on first come first FIFO, that is first in first out queue. The poor in performance as average wait time is high. So it is a long term scheduling algorithm. It is one of the simplest scheduling algorithm in which jobs are executed in the order of their arrival. Its implementation involves the maintaining a queue arriving a job. Whenever CPU is free, a new job from ready queue is assigned the CPU. Once the process has the CPU, it runs to completion. So this diagram shows the process, arrival time, execute time, and service time. Now here wait time of each process is given here for P0, P1, P2 and P3. So wait time can be calculated by service time minus arrival time. So here arrival time is given and service time is given. So we can calculate the wait time, and average wait time is the addition of all these divided by 4. So this is average wait time. Next is shortest. Before that, conclusion of this FCFS, that is first come first serve, is that this algorithm is simple to implement. This algorithm results in poor performance. The average turnaround and waiting time are quite high. It meets the fairness criteria of scheduling, and this algorithm cannot be used in time sharing system where it is important that each user gets a share of CPU at regular interval. It is not desirable to allow one process to keep the CPU for a long time. Next is the shortest job next. This is also known as shortest job first, or the SJF. This is non-preemptive scheduling algorithm. The best approach to minimize the waiting time, easy to implement in batch system where required CPU time is known in advance. It is impossible to implement in interactive system where required CPU time is not known, and the processor should know in advance how much time process will take. So in shortest job first, or SJF or SJN, a job with the shortest execution time is selected for execution. If two processes have the same CPU time, the FCFS is used. So this diagram shows the table of process and their arrival time and execution time. And the next diagram shows the waiting time of each process, which is calculated here. So waiting time can be calculated by using execution time minus arrival time, service time minus arrival time, and the average wait time is the addition of all these waiting time divided by 4. So SJF algorithm is an optimal scheduling algorithm in terms of minimizing the average waiting time and the average turnaround time. This algorithm does not guarantee a fairness. If shorter jobs keep joining the ready queue, then relatively longer job may have to wait infinitely. The optimal performance of the SJF scheduling is dependent upon future knowledge of the process or the job behavior. It is very difficult to estimate the exact CPU time requirement of a job or the process. Next is priority based scheduling. So the priority scheduling is non-preemptive algorithm and one of the most common scheduling algorithm in batch system. Here each process is assigned a priority. The process with highest priority is to be executed first and so on. The process with same priority are executed on first come first serve basis. Your priority can be decided based on memory requirement, time requirement, or any other resource requirement. So the priority scheduling is preemptive scheduling method. Each process is assigned a priority. Among the runnable process, one with the highest priority is allowed to run first. To prevent the higher priority process from waiting indefinitely, the scheduler may decrease the priority of the currently running process after every time slab. So it is often necessary to group a processes into a priority classes. The round robin scheduling is used within each priority class. So this diagram shows the table of process, their arrival time, execution time and the priority. So here we are considering 1 is the lowest priority. So 3 will be the highest priority. So waiting time is calculated by taking the difference between the service time and the arrival time, and average wait time is also calculated here. So the shortest remaining time is the primitive version of the SJN algorithm. Here the processor is allocated to the job closest to the completion, but it can be preempted by a newer ready job with a shorter time to completion. It is impossible to implement in interactive system where required CPU time is not known. It is often used in a batch environment where short jobs need to give a preference. Now the next is round robin scheduling. It is a primitive process scheduling algorithm. Here each process is provided a fixed time to execute. It is called a quantum. Once a process is executed for a given time period, it is preempted and other process execute for a given time period. So the context switching is used to save the state of the preempted process. The round robin scheduling algorithm is primarily used in a time sharing and multi-user system. The basic requirement is such a system is to provide reasonably good response time and in general to share the system fairly among all system users. In round robin scheduling, the CPU time is divided into slices. Each process is allocated one time slice while it is running, and a process is given a one time slice at a time for execution. So after the end of time slice, the process goes to the end of ready queue and process from the front of the ready queue is selected for the execution. So time slice is usually 10 to 100 millisecond. Now the setting the quantum too short causes too many process switches and lower the CPU efficiency. So setting the quantum too long may cause a poor performance or poor response to short the interactive request. This round robin scheduling utilizes the system resources in an equitable manner. So small process may be executed in a single time slice giving a good response time, whereas long process may require several time slices and consider and thus be forced to pass through the ready queue a few times before completion. So this table shows the wait time of each process. So it is divided service time minus arrival time and average wait time is calculated here. Next is the multiple level queue scheduling. So multiple level queues are not an independent scheduling algorithm. They make the use of other existing algorithm to group and schedule jobs with common characteristic. The multiple queues are maintained for the process with common characteristic. Each queue can have its own scheduling algorithm. The priorities are assigned to each queue. For example, the CPU bound the job can be scheduled in one queue and all input output bound jobs in another queue. The process scheduler then alternately selects the jobs from each queue and assign them to the CPU based on algorithm assigned to the queue. The round robin algorithm requires the three queues, that is wait. Wait means the queue of new or the arriving jobs. Ready means queue of ready job and finish is the queue of executed or the finished job. So the job enter the ready queue from the wait queue after arrival time is less than equal to current time. So there is a meaning of various field, that is AT means here arrival time, ST is the CPU time, FT is the finish time, WT is the waiting time, ET is the CPU time which is already given to the process, TAT is the turnaround time and the SNO is the serial number of each job. So the variable elapsed gives the current time and the initial time is always taken as a 0. So steps for this is that jobs to be processed are stored in a wait queue or the arrival queue, elapsed is 0. If both wait queue and the ready queue are empty, then we will directly go to the step A. So for every job P in a wait queue, if P at less than equal to elapsed, then P is deleted from the wait queue and inserted in a ready queue. If ready queue is empty, then elapsed is plus slab and we'll go to the step 2. Then the next step is the process P is selected from the ready queue for the execution. Next step is for every job P1 in a wait queue. If P1 AT is less than equal to elapsed, then P1 is deleted from wait queue and inserted in a ready queue. Next process is if the process P has run to its completion, then We'll go to step 4 and generate report, and the last step is the stop. So this is all about the scheduler, and this is all about the process scheduler and the scheduling methods.